Hey guys, welcome to our review of The Batman. And oh my God, we actually have Batman himself here with us today.
Let's go check it out.
We just got back, and I gotta say, this has been much hyped, much anticipated. I was hearing a lot of good things about it. 10 out of 10s all across the board. So I went into this with some pretty high expectations. I really think Robert Pattinson is a great actor. I like him in a lot of stuff. And it does a good Batman. Pretty good Batman. Young. And this itself is a good Batman film. It's got everything you need. It's dark, it's gritty, it's rainy, it's moody. It's got good fights. It's like a detective, kind of side of Batman. Very CSI, very David Fincher's Seven, And is it a masterpiece, though? Is it a 10 out of 10? No, I don't think so. I think the film thinks it is because it's a little indulgent, very, very long. The suits definitely think that it is because it's actually spinning off 2 television shows. We're going to have Gotham PD and we're going to have Penguin. And also 2 direct sequels are coming as well. So they really went all in on it.
I thought this was a sequel to Batman Forever.
No, Joe, this is not a sequel.
What?
And man, there was a ton of people at the theater. I think this is going to make a killing. It is like people are back in force for Batman. And you know what? I'm on board. I've always said Batman's my second favorite superhero. It's just, obviously my boy gets a lot of hate because Batman is all vengeance and fear, and he's so much fucking cooler, people think. Vengeance. There you go. Yeah, it's always like that. And Superman's more about hope and inspiration. And people are like, get that fucking shit out of here, man. I need Batman. And plus, the combat, the visceralness of he's just a guy in a suit.
He's a crazy dude.
He's a crazy dude. He could get his ass beat at any time. So that's what makes for really compelling Batman films, and this is a compelling one. But for one, I think it was way too long. I think the second act really drags, and honestly, I think it's because of Catwoman. Catwoman wasn't doing it for me.
Just a side note, I could get where you see
her story is really. It just doesn't work. She's certainly no Michelle Pfeiffer. Still the best Catwoman out there. Here it just feels like she's mostly a damsel in distress for Batman to save. I mean, of course, it's 2020, or 2022, so
it's pretty fucking hot.
So there's some saving and stuff going back on, but then immediately has to save her again. I just didn't feel they had any chemistry on screen. So, and I didn't really buy the kiss or anything like that. So, but then we go to that third act, and man, that was fucking awesome. So I was really enjoying the beginning, really enjoyed the end. There's some great set pieces here, but I just thought it was overly long, and at some times, kind of, a bore, a ponderous bore. I'm trying to give it as much credit as possible because I really did enjoy it in the end. But this isn't a film that I would watch immediately again. And stuff like The Dark Knight and Christopher Nolan stuff and even the wacky Jim Carrey story, Batman Forever, and all these other things, I would watch immediately again.
Batman Forever, come on.
He's done his research. He watched Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I don't know why.
I did it for research.
I can tell, Joe. I can tell. So obviously, it looks like you liked it.
I honestly love this film. This was great. Everyone did an amazing job acting. They had a great cast. I love the score. It kind of invoked the Danny Elfman kind of thing sometimes.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah, like I like some of the scores. Like it kind of brought me back, and like this is like real, like Gotham, real dark, cringy.
Dark.
This is a place where you don't want to
Humorless.
fucking live
There's
there.
not a fucking joke in here. I mean,
They
they
have
take
some
it fucking
sprinkles.
hell.
They sprinkle some
No.
jokes, but
Nobody
it was
in
still
the
fine.
audience was laughing.
No, it's still fine. But this is like a real fucking live action. Like this is what would happen in like real life with Batman. I was like, it's just a fucking normal guy trying to go up against people. A crazy guy dressed up as a bat going up against
In some
other crazy
badass
people,
armor. Yeah, people
with a fucking badass muscle car. As soon
I
as
knew
he
you were gonna fucking.
As
love
soon
that.
as he turned that shit on, I was like, yes.
Yes.
And it sounded so fucking amazing.
Yeah, it did.
But no, I
He's
really
got some
did
cool
enjoy this
toys.
film. Yeah, I could see where you are like. It's 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and 50 something long.
Oh,
like,
is it? Holy shit!
It's
that's
2 hours
right.
and 56
So it-
minutes long. Is runtime.
yeah.
But they
I mean, I
trimmed some
enjoyed
up,
every
but
moment
I
of
still
it, but I'm not
loved it.
gonna watch it again immediately. You
I
didn't
think
feel
I
like it
would.
lost you at any point.
No, I was actually glued on there. I was like, all right, what's gonna happen? Like it had the whole like the whole mobster thing, and then also had like a psychological thing with the Riddler. So it is like trying to tell two stories, and I felt like in those 3 hours, it completed everything that it needed to.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I think that it did have some pacing issues. I was never bored in this movie. It is slower, and so don't prepare yourself for like a slower movie.
Don't drink water.
But I definitely do think that there are some storylines that are weaker than others, and there are times where I was less interested in some of them. This is something that I've been looking for in a Batman
I knew
movie
you'd
in a
like.
long
Did
time.
you like the
Yeah, the
detective
detective
stuff?
Well, yeah, so
stuff.
like we got a lot of the way there. Still, this is something that this is fledgling Batman, junior year Batman. He's not there yet.
Yeah.
And he did not smart
It's 2
anyone in
years.
this whole movie.
Two more movies
Yeah,
coming.
there's
so
movies
he'll
coming.
Get there.
So I'm hoping he gets to the point where
He's still
you know,
fresh-ish.
I want the bad guy to be like, "Oh, this was my thing," and he is like, "I know, here are all the detonators. Like,
Right.
you can't
Nah,
you
you're
can't
not
do
there
anything."
yet.
And so, like, Batman,
He actually is kind of he misses a lot.
He misses
and
a
he has
lot.
to lean very heavily on Gordon, but we'll get there.
yeah, exactly. And so, like, this is going towards the direction I want. Because, like, for me, Batman is not special because he beats up thugs at night. That is nothing makes you special in the DC universe for doing that. Batman is a tactician. Batman is one of the smartest guys on the planet, and he's one of the greatest detectives. And he's the guy with the plan. And so I love watching him beat people up. It's really good in this movie too. His
Yeah.
fight scenes are very good. There's some hallway ones they showed in the trailers
hallway
that
ones
I
are
I
always
felt that
great.
was
I like
hidden a lot by darkness. I wanted to really see it a little more and appreciate more.
I
It's a
like
bit-
the gunshot effects. Like you see, like little beats and pieces, like him, like just fucking kicking ass.
I
with
like that
shots.
too. Yeah, I just wish there was more where I could see it. And you can. There's several. Beats up some clown-looking guys in the beginning of the film, and then kicks ass a group of guys towards the end of the film. There's not a lot of action pieces. I'd say there's 3 major fight sequences, and then the car stuff.
Amazing car.
But boy, does this Batman get fucking shot a lot. But what were you saying? Continue.
Yeah, I mean, so the action is there, but like I do want to see a detective story where we actually get to see what makes Batman special. And this is something that I love the Nolan trilogy. I love it. Like Dark Knight is incredible, but Batman is honestly he's not a character in those movies. He's just a fucking idiot in a suit. Batman is the dumbest character in those 3 movies. Everyone is smarter than Batman in those 3 movies, and so like they've got the mischaracterization. So I think this is going in the right direction. And if we are getting a trilogy, I do want to see a Batman that can kick the shit out of you, but he also is like, man, I knew your plan the whole time. That's how I know, all of these other things. So I like the direction that this one's going.
Yeah, and so obviously we've seen in the trailers. We're trying to go no spoilers. We'll have a big long spoilers discussion. But obviously the villain in this film, Riddler and Penguin. What did you guys think of the Penguin, who is completely unrecognizable? You know who that is?
Colin Farrell.
Wow, like I stare
I was
at him.
trying,
I can't
because
see
I
him.
knew who it was.
It's completely
I was
different
trying
guy.
to see. I was like, man, they did a great job with it. I fucking loved it. That's,
He's a little more muted here. He's not. I guess he's not a badass penguin who owns the city, or at least a part of the
Not
city.
yet.
Not yet. Again, very early. I think they've got a trilogy plan. We'll definitely be seeing more Penguin in
More
the TV
Batman.
show. Do I really
More
want to
Batman.
watch a Penguin TV show? Nah. I want to watch the Gotham PD TV show even less. But but he did a great performance. He was a completely different person. I bought him. That's what this movie does well, man. This movie fucking immerses you. Like,
that's how I
you
felt
were
the entire way. That's just like I didn't
immersed.
feel like it was too long because I was like, this is pretty fucking amazing.
The parts with Catwoman lost me, though. I was just like rolling my eyes at a lot of it, and I was like, ugh, I was like, get to the point. And I think it was spinning its wheels a few times in between some of these set pieces. Riddler is in this. Riddler's performance is ridiculously over the top, honestly.
Not over the top like Jim
so
Carrey.
over
Though.
yes, not
Not Jim
yes,
Carrey
actually,
level.
kind of. And because this movie is taken so fucking serious, that kind of shit. I'm like, how the fuck? Something happens at the end, and he has to, I don't know, not be like that in order for this to happen. And I'm like, I'm not really sure. Anyways,
The only thing
the
I was
actor
gonna
kind of
nitpick, the
pressed
only
a
nitpick
little
was the
hard
suit.
on that.
Whatever he was
Yeah.
wearing, the gimp suit.
Yeah,
pretty
the
much.
Riddler gimp suit with fucking tape, masking tape over everybody, duct tape over everybody. Anyways, but yeah, a really fantastic film. I liked it a lot. Robert Pattinson really pulls off Batman. How'd you feel about his Bruce Wayne? 'Cause you got Batman, you got Bruce Wayne.
Didn't really get to see a lot of it. Didn't so I can't really judge it because it was like basically like 5 minutes of
It's
Bruce
really not-
Wayne.
More
like-
than 5 minutes. It's. I think this Batman is fucking Batman. There is no Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how
he
I
acts like
felt.
Batman
'Cause,
even
like,
when he's
with,
Bruce Wayne.
Christian Bale's like the playboy guy acting
he
all
doesn't do
suave,
that shit at
whatever.
all
He doesn't
here.
give a shit, and this one's just real quiet and doesn't really do anything. As
Very awkward.
Yeah.
Anytime he's out in public, he's super awkward.
very very awkward.
So I think that's like a directing and like a character choice that I'm hoping that they kind of address later
Yeah.
on because I don't.
He has to be multiple faceted, and he's
Yes.
not multiple faceted here. He's now here's another thing. I really like this. There's a good message to this film. I've always kind of complained about Batman and just like fear. That's why Batman fear, vengeance. It's like, oh man, people worship that shit these days.
Look at
And
the
it should be more
shadows.
about hope, right?
Look at the shadows. I think
Yes,
you
that's
there?
the.
You think you see me, but you don't.
That's the. I can't say that word anymore, but that's not so smart Batman that is acting silly. But he's fear, vengeance, this kind of stuff, and Batman really buys into all that stuff. But I really liked towards the end there seems to be a character
Yeah.
arc for Batman, and by the end he's talking more like this guy. He's actually using the word hope. Possibly, inspirational at times. This Batman is definitely different from what we've seen of how the city reacts to, Christopher Nolan's Batman. So there's a different kind of thing here. And they're not afraid to do like a hero thing with him. So, but yeah, just. Man, that thing was long, and a lot of long movies I'm into. Like I'm like, man, I'm fucking happy it's this long. But this one, it lost me at a few points, and then at the end, I thought that was kind of unnecessary to tease a certain thing at the end of the film. There's a certain cameo. It's like, ugh. Okay, so we're just in a rush to get there, huh? Why can't we stay with like more original stories or stuff we haven't seen yet from the comics? But
Because not
we're in a-
everybody reads the comic books, nerds.
We're in a fucking rush to
Gotta
get
go
there.
mainstream.
Yeah. So and Gordon,
Loved it.
Commissioner Gordon is not a side character in this.
No.
He is a main character. He is like literally Batman light. He does as much as Batman. Did you like that?
I did. I love that actor ever since the song was in the Westworld.
Westworld, yeah.
Westworld, yeah. He pulls off a great Commissioner Gordon.
Sure
Yeah, he does a really good job, and I think that they have a lot of chemistry. I buy the relationship. Like there's they talk about not trusting each other, and they like to develop that over the course of this movie, and it kind of sets up the way that I picture. We're kids of the early like the '90s, right? So like the Batman the animated series, like that's the Gordon Batman relationship that like I grew up with, and I can see this Batman and this Gordon. Like growing up into the that Kevin Conroy like relationship with Gordon. So
he definitely trusts him because he's like constantly defending Batman. A lot of people in the police force are like, "What the fuck? Why are you letting this guy in? This guy's fucking crazy. Look at him. Look at him. Why is he dressed like that? Why is he in here?
Yeah.
You're just letting him mess with the evidence and shit." And
he's like touching stuff.
Stop touching stuff, Batman.
Sorry.
And Commissioner Gordon's like, "No, fucking back off. This is my best friend, So I don't know if they got a prequel planned or something. Maybe that'll be in Gotham PD where Batman actually does show up. Please God, because you can't do. Nobody wants to see a fucking police in the Gotham. They're all pieces of shit. Because Gotham is a piece of shit city that's corrupt.
Right? That show? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Oh, were you there? What did you say?
I didn't watch it.
Hey, we're going to do that shit again. Anyways, but I thought it was a great film.
Yes.
So let's go with final verdict. So
Final
we can get
verdict
into
for me
the
is a
spoilers.
9. I would see this one again.
Goddamn.
Soon. I love the score. I love the action. The combat was fucking amazing. The car chases, car was amazing.
Yep.
It's a new take on the Batmobile, which I love.
I fucking knew you love it. Because what's your
You want a
favorite
Lego?
car?
You want a Lego version of it?
I
Camaro?
actually have.
Is it a
I have
Camaro?
it. I want
69
it.
SS Camaro.
69 SS
it's gonna be
Camaro
fucking
is
sweet,
Joe's
but
favorite.
just that sound of it. But no, like everyone sounded fucking amazing. The Penguin was a great casting choice with Colin Farrell out of all
Is that
the
the
choices.
69 Camaro? I saw one driving, and I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, that's a great one.
I was like, I got to take a picture for Joe.
But no, yeah, I was not really bored.
Yeah.
I was glued the entire time. Like, yeah, I could see with that little side plot with Celine, but
Selena Kyle.
overall, I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
This is 9 out of 10.
They kind
for
of changed
me.
her origin story. I just thought it was a weak Catwoman, but I agree with you. Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, I really like this one. I'm struggling between an 8 or a 9. I think that there are parts of the movie that do drag. I think that there's a slump in the center, and it has to do with a little bit. It's not filler. I think it is important stuff.
It's not filler.
I think it's stuff that they just are. They spent too much time on something that could have been more quickly resolved. The movie could have been tightened up, and I don't know if that's what the studio wanted to do. I don't know if it's an editing choice. I don't know if it's a directorial choice. Oh no, you can tell because the script wasn't done in crayon on a napkin.
I know, Matt Reeves
There
is
was
so
complete
much better than
stories
Zack.
here.
This is how you do Batman. This is how you treat the characters of DC with fucking respect. So yeah, I know people are probably already jumping down my throat because I don't like it at a 10 out of 10. But let me just say, this is how Zach. No, this one, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the Batman ones and you're talking about let's go look at The Dark Knight's probably the best Batman movie that I can think of.
Yeah.
And then there's some Batman Returns. I love Batman Returns
That
too.
was a great
but
one.
I mean, so this is one that I actually kind of need to see where the character goes because this is still pre-Batman.
Yeah.
This is Batman who's figuring out
early Batman.
and so I want to see if this character develops into the one that I absolutely I want to see more of. So I still think it's super solid.
God, I hope so.
Great movie. I think I'm gonna go with an 8.
All right.
8. Hey guys, if you're looking for a Joe Schumacher film, you're gonna be disappointed. It is not
this
a
is
Joe
not.
Schumacher.
Does he have nipples? I didn't even look. Does he have nipples on the suit?
No, he does not. I
no
looked.
nipples.
I
Oh,
looked.
you looked? Of
Well,
course
he
you
has
looked.
The Tomb Raider nipple or the boobies.
Oh, they're like 7 triangles, very pointy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I agree. I can totally see, 8, 9, 10, honestly. But for me, I think the pacing issue with the length, it almost felt like I was watching like a Netflix series all put together. You know what I mean? Like a lengthy in-depth thing because we got so much with the Gotham PD. We got so much of the individual little notes to Batman where he has to solve something, and then Gordon has to help, and then Catwoman has to help him, and Batman has to try to do some stuff. And it's like, yeah, God, there's like multiple episodes, and he gets like fucking 7 letters in the thing. I'm like, okay, all right, let's come on, you know. And then when it eventually does get to those set piece moments we've seen in the trailer, and they hit a lot of stuff in that third act. There's just so much really good stuff that I was like, wow, this is a high budget film. There's a lot of really cool stuff there, but you know, you have to wait for it. You have to really be into it, and it's very immersive, very thematic, and very dark and gritty. This is not Marvel joke a mile a minute, you know.
You should want to live in Gotham, not anymore.
No.
Gotham looks pretty fucking
little
cool.
too. I think maybe a little too.
Not this one.
we could use some more jokes here and there, maybe in the next one. And I hope, just like Alex, that he does eventually become that hyper intelligent, that super brained person that always has a plan and stuff like that, because that is the ultimate Batman. I get the feeling that he's not going to quite reach the Kevin Conroy Batman.
Joe, he's only been doing it for 2 years.
I know.
Right?
I know. Same thing with this is Superman. I was defending Superman as, hey, this is the new Superman that literally his first thing is he has to go up against 57 other Superman, and he hasn't had a chance to do that. This is an early Batman. Yeah. He hasn't had a chance to do all these other things. So he'll get there, and that's the important part. I'm really looking forward to more in this series. Maybe not the spin-offs, but definitely some more films if they want to do it. So my final verdict, I can go. I think I'm going to go 8 as well, only because of the pacing. I think they could have tightened it up. All the stuff there is good, but the mark of a really good director and editor is when, you can edit things down to make them sleeker, make them, more watchable and better pacing. And I think that's all this film needed, because the performances across the board were fantastic. Yep. And he's a great Batman, and I'm looking forward to more. So that's our review of the Batman. I think you should go out and watch it, but prepare yourself for a lengthier movie, and
it's not a Joe Schumacher film.
And not a Joe Schumacher film. There's not going to be a bunch of
bat cards.
No bat nipples or bat cards.
The Batcave without it.
I think he's a better Batman, I think, than the Ben Affleck version. I like him more than that. I think it pays a little more respect to the character. I think him as a director, Matt Reeves, because he also wrote it as well with Peter Craig, they do justice to Batman more so than Zack Snyder did. Do I think that this is going to link into the DCEU because it's going to do well at the box office? No. I hope not. I hope not. I don't want them
I want it to be self-contained.
Yes. I hope he's not going to meet Aquaman and Wonder Woman and all these other things, because if they did that, then they would have to replace Henry, because Batman's younger, and then Superman would have to be younger. It wouldn't make any sense. I mean, I guess multiverse you can kind of do.
No, it's gonna get too
that's what they're about to do. They're about to do that in Flash.
Complicated. No,
I agree with you. I don't want them to do it, but suits at WB, man, they're fucking stupid. They do dumb shit. If a movie's too popular, they're like, I want 7 spin-off series, I want 15 sequels, and I want all these to link up. You know what I mean? So I hope Matt can be like, maybe that gives him the authority to be like, hey, you guys liked all that money and the critically acclaimedness. Well, don't fuck with my shit. Let me handle it. So I hope Matt continues that. All right, guys, that's it. If you want to see what is in the spoilers, maybe the cameo at the end, where they're gonna go with all this kind of stuff, and some of the plot points, stick with us in our full spoilers discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.